It's March the 5th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, and I am solo today. Welcome to In the Weeds. It's a wonderful Wednesday for everybody, as I'm going to be phlegmy and coughing, but I'm going to have to do it on my own, won't I? So get used to it. Jeremy Lambert is unfortunately out sick. We send our love to him. We hope he feels better ASAP. I don't know how long we're going to go today. I am going to hopefully rely on the chat and maybe some friends along the way. We'll see. I've sent out some feelers. Some people are at work and some people just take a day off. Not everyone can be up at 6 o'clock in the morning like I am to do this show at 10 o'clock in the morning. I got other stuff, but I love you all. So how we doing? We got a lot to talk about. I didn't talk about Raw yesterday because SP3 and Jeremy covered the show. We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little bit about NXT. Sure, why not? And maybe we'll talk a little bit about Dynamite coming up tonight. Saw that Big Boom AJ was at the Laker game doing some stuff. There we go. I had to reschedule our interview for today, by the way. Wes Barkley was scheduled to join us today, 10:30. I like having the full court press for that. So we're going to have Wes Barkley on Friday. Get ready for that. The reason why we're going to have Wes on Friday is actually because Wes has been on WWE Raw for the last 2 weeks in a row, which you wouldn't know, but if you saw him, you would know. Wes has been on the show before a couple years ago, I should say. He joined us and talked about his time in AIW and in Greektown Wrestling. He's a prolific indie wrestler, great guy. But he's been on Raw for the last couple of weeks, doing a security spot this week, pulling back CM Punk. And then, of course, you had the man in the medical last week, checking on Liv and Raquel or something like that. But either way, Wes is going to come and join us on Friday. Plan is for 10:30 a.m. He just confirmed that. So that's the hope, as long as Jeremy's feeling better, or we'll have a co-host. Again, this was very last minute because I got a message, not from Jeremy, but actually from the anonymous ITW general manager telling me that he's sick. So we hope that he's doing well. We hope you're well, chat. If you haven't already, do it for me. Leave a thumbs up on the video. That always goes a long way. Makes me feel good, especially because it's just me, Oos. Day one-ish. And of course, you can subscribe to the channel. Also makes me feel good. We're going to get up there. We're going to get up to that high level 60, 70,000 subscribers. But right now we need you to press the subscribe button. Tell your friends about the channel. We host this show 5 days a week in the Weeds. It's our morning show here on Fightful. And we're better than Busted Open. Just let everyone know. For those who are asking about other people who could be coming in to host today, I've asked so many people. I've asked SB3. I've asked Kate. I've asked anyone. If there's anyone that I haven't asked and then they want in, just DM me and we can make it happen. But it looks like the mana has finally taken Jeremy Lambert asunder, and it's over. I'm sorry. But instead, you get me. You just get me. And will you get me for 2 hours? I don't know. Maybe you'll get me for 1 hour, but at least it's content and people are all about it. Okay. You can also donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. Cyclops better than Wolverine kicking us off, saying Jeremy pulling a Ferris Bueller. He's faking it. I knew it. I'm going to see him in the streets of Chicago later on. It was Chicago's birthday yesterday. He's going to be out there doing twist and shout on a float. Just going to be singing. And you've heard him sing. He's going to try and do it. And he's going to do the whole thing, or he's going to be in museums all over the town. Or maybe he just needs to sit in the back of a class. He'll be fine. Why is Jeremy on True Heel Heat right now? If he was, I would be flabbergasted. SP3 isn't doing True Heel Heat right now. But anyway, we got enough to talk about. I'm going to actually, you know what I'm going to do? Because I have to now talk about everything on my own, because I've been left all alone to my own devices, as one does. We'll see how this show goes. Let's dive right in. You guys want to talk about NXT a little bit? Give it a couple minutes of thoughts. Shawn Spears won the North American Championship from Tony D last night. Really feels like he won it so that he could give it to Ricky Saints in a few weeks. Maybe Stand and Deliver. Maybe in a few weeks. We'll see. People saying not really. Well, we'll cover NXT for a few minutes. We still talk about it. We don't necessarily need to give it the full court press, which seems to be my saying of the day. NXT missing Thea Hale is still very much on my radar. I need to, every single day from here on in, I'm going to ask, where is Thea Hale? Why isn't she gracing us on our screens? Why isn't she covering coffee and talking about it on the show? People are mentioning Cora Jade saying she looked rough. We were able to at least find out from Cora Jade, and then later on we had on Fightful Select, she seems to be okay. She said her head was rocked. For those who were thinking it was a knee injury, it's not a knee injury. She says her knees are fine, or at least as fine as they can be. But it looks like for Cora Jade, yeah, it was a scary moment. But my hope is she's okay. Obviously, a lot of people feel that way. I know I make the joke a lot about Cora Jade and her presentation and all that, but like, I'm not going to take away from the person ever. I think she's extremely hardworking. I think she's very talented. It's the one taunt that I always make fun of. But that in mind, we do send our best to her. I'm curious and I'm hopeful that she ends up doing the match at TNA Sacrifice against Masha Slamovich for the TNA Knockouts Championship, because that looked like it was going to be a fun match. I keep harping on this as well. Cora Jade has a background as like a hardcore wrestler. Like Elena Black, when she was coming up in the indies in Chicago, was like hardcore as hardcore could get. And her and Masha would absolutely tear it up. So my hope is that they're going to do it. My hope is that she's okay and that they can still have the match at Sacrifice next Friday night. But again, that's going to be entirely up to her and the medical. But yeah, we wish our best to Cora Jade. It was really weird to see, they come back from commercial and Jordan Grace is just kind of standing around in the ring and looking around and wondering what's going on. And luckily everything kind of worked out and looked like Cora was walking out under her own power. That's what kind of made me think, like, why do people think this is a knee thing when she's clearly walking out? But obviously she sent a tweet out and she said she's fine. She got rocked. That happens, man. It's the worst thing when you're just, when you get winded or the wind knocked out of you, or you just take, your head snaps the wrong way. You want to make sure that you're okay. But she seems to be fine. Jordan was making jokes about implants, but looks like we're good. Good for her. I'm not sick, by the way. The anonymous ITW general manager checking in on me. I'm not fully sick. I have something. There's something in the back here. Got to get it checked out. But I probably won't because I'm an idiot. That's right. I said it. I'm going to take a drink. You know that my first show on Fightful was a solo review? It's TNA Homecoming. So there you go. I'm not alone here. I've done this before. It's not my first rodeo. It's nice to have a little bit of thing, a little bit of experience, because you men, she says, by the way, the ITW general manager. So Cora's okay. Shawn Spears is the North American champion. I'm curious about Julia versus Stephanie Vaquer, because at one point Vic Joseph called it a unification match. Is this something that they cleaned up? Is this actually happening? I need to check that out, because that's a strange thing to do. I thought it was just title for title and winner gets both titles and then they can split them all at one point. But if they're unifying them, that usually means that those titles are going to become one and no longer have a North American women's title. This is going to be interesting because, as I've said on other shows, this is the one title in all of WWE where you have a full depth of women on your roster and they are showcased to the nines weekly on your television. And if they're going to get rid of that particular championship, it's a very strange decision. Someone in the chat saying next week reeks of Fatal Influence interference. And that's the thing. In the presser, you had Fallon Henley and the rest of Fatal Influence, talking trash to Ava when she's standing at the dais for her press conference. And they're kind of insinuating that they're going to get their title shot again. And that's why I keep saying, I think this match is going to end in a schmaz. It shouldn't be happening if they don't have a plan. But at the same time, if this is a story beat to get us to stand and deliver, then I get it. I know Jeremy has been pretty steadfast on the idea that one of them wins both titles. I know that there was the reporting of, Julia maybe being a little bit beat up. If that's the case, then okay. But I don't think that means she can't go. I don't know. It's going to come down to what happens on Tuesday next week at Roadblock. If they do a schmaz finish, then I guess I told you so, or at least it was something expected and it's a story beat. If they have somebody win that match, then I know that at past Stand and Delivers, they've had people pull double duty. It's not unusual, but personally, I wouldn't mind seeing both women in matches with their respective titles going up against whoever is supposed to be in the spot. Jada Parker was someone who called her shot after her match, right? So there's an opportunity there to push Jada Parker a little bit further into the North American Women's Championship picture. I don't know what they'll do, but when they said that, just stuck out to me when Vic Joseph called it title unifications, but he's misspoken before, and so have other talent, right? Remember last week we talked about the Titan versus Titan, not title versus title. That got people very confused and talking. I'm wondering if that's what they're going to do. But Matthew Hooks is saying, NXT is the best at featuring the woman, and they are. They're very solid at showcasing and featuring and making them feel like they're important to the roster. And also, this is the one frustration that I have when it comes to the women's division on Raw and SmackDown, is that you do have a breadth of talent, but you also have all of these women in NXT that at one point the bottleneck has to go, and you're going to have to start sending them to Raw and SmackDown to have them go after the Intercontinental Championship and the United States Championship. Having Chelsea Green come down, that wasn't so bad. Clearly they have something going with Sol Ruca, Zarya as a tag team, but also Sol Ruca getting a pin on Chelsea Green. They clearly see something in her. Sol Ruca also worked, I believe, main event or speed. She worked the Raw tapings, so she was in Buffalo for that. Again, it's an opportunity for eyes to get on talent, which I appreciate. I'm curious about how all these women in NXT are going to start coming up, and if they're going to be showcased, because again, they have a 2-hour show, but here's the big difference. NXT is full of a lot of 2-minute matches, 3-minute matches, 5-minute matches, 6-minute matches. When in traditional wrestling shows that I watched, the TNAs, the Raws, the SmackDowns, when they talk about things being 2 segments, you're looking at about 12 minutes. Maybe 6 minutes in an opening contest if you just have to get in, get out, and that's a quick starter. It's time to, start moving forward with those NXT talent as they're developing beyond the 3-minute match mark. That's how you get so much going on in NXT, is because you have so many quick start matches. I'm looking, the Sol Ruca tag I just mentioned, that was about 10 minutes. Kalani and Jada Parker was actually 12-ish minutes. Jordan Grace was en route to a 10-minute match with Cora Jade. There were a lot of women on NXT. Holy crap. I guess this is every week, but I shouldn't be surprised. Obviously, what happened with Trick was just to move forward with the Eddie Thorpe storyline. What do you guys think about that? NXT Underground in 2 weeks. It's going to be Eddie Thorpe. Trick Williams. Is he turning heel, or is he just finding his dark edge? Is Trick Williams kind of the belief that he's, what felt like he was going to turn has now turned into Trick Williams just having an edge. I don't think they're ready to turn him yet, but it feels like they're just trying to give him some sort of edge because he's upset, he's pissed, he needs to show that mean streak to go after the bad guys, which in this case, you're looking at Eddie Thorpe. Someone asking you, Matthew Hook saying, does Trick feel lost, or is it just me? I've said this multiple times when it comes to Trick Williams. They have found that Trick is fantastic in the chase, but they never have much for him when he wins. And this was a concern with Cody, right? Cody finishes the story. Now what? And they had started to build certain people. They had the Kevin Owens story has obviously been really good. The AJ Styles story was good, but there's stuff in between where you're just kind of like, we could have been stronger. That's kind of what we got with Trick. And part of it is because the men's division in NXT is not the strongest. But part of it is also because they just weren't giving Trick more to do with beyond, I'm a good guy, get behind me, I'm going to get the big win. So that'd be fun. But we'll see what they do. If this is anything, this is indicative of what NXT does. And this is a good thing, by the way, because again, you're developing your talent. You're giving them a shot at trying things with their characters. They are developing their characters. They are finding the depth. They are making them a tangible character that you want to follow and you want to invest in. And I appreciate that when it comes to someone like Trick Williams, because he's different. He's very popular. He's been a bad guy. He's been a very over good guy. People come to NXT to see Trick and do the chanting of his theme. And, they want to see him do things. They reacted. They erupted with that finish last night. It was a very quick match, right? Bell rang. Trick Williams knocks out Kel Dixon with the knee and then just hits him with the hammer and fist elbows and looks good. But I'm hoping that what they move forward with Trick is more depth for his character. Getting messages about people joining this show or not joining the show. Who knows? Who knows, right? People saying Trick Williams might get called up after the draft or during the draft. When that is, who knows? You could do it as early as after WrestleMania. Could be time. I would love to see a story where him and Carmelo Hayes kind of make up. Don't tag team. Just be on the same page again. Understand your past and kind of move from there. I think that would be a lot of fun. Got another super chat from Ryan Adams saying, Thea posted a new coffee breakdown last night. Let's go. I'm going to watch that after the show because if there's one thing I love, it's Thea Hale content. If she can get over, I am in it. Louis saying, call Tim. I actually spoke to Tim yesterday. I had to renew my passport and I needed references. Why do I need to renew my passport? TBD. You'll find out soon. But yeah, Tim's unavailable. Tim has a shoot job that keeps him very busy. Trust me, I know. Miz and Mello as a tag team, they should win everything. Win all the tag team gold and then have Trick show up and just beat up Miz. That's it. And then they cast him as a side. I don't know what's going on. Other than you got to do something with Trick that keeps people invested in him, but also allows him to flesh out his character. And I think that's a good thing. Again, that's what you want to do. They've got Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez for Roadblock next week. It's going to be fun. But yeah, the main event was Tony D getting punked out by Shawn Spears. Not really punked out, just kind of a roll-up victory. Very shocking in a way because Shawn Spears didn't have to do much to get. He just got a deep pin in on Tony D, got the win. Tony's back went out on him. His knees, his back. You finish the rest. Shawn Spears wins the North American Championship. Really feels like we're just holding that out to get it to Ricky Saints, which I don't mind. I think Spears is an excellent gatekeeper, an excellent trainer. I think that he is a wonderful talent. I just think that you know who's next. You saw them interact. You saw them face to face. It's all about it. I'm good. Tony D had that title for long enough. He can move on to what? I don't know, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Is Arian available? No, I texted him and he was heading out the door when I texted him. Joel got his passport to come heckle AEW shows and make it make sense. Tell you what, here's someone who's going to make it make sense. Who are you?
I've never seen you before. I don't know. I've never seen you before either. This is a new occurrence, new show.
This is new.
I saw you were like lonely, and then someone in the comments actually requested someone named Kimmy. I don't know who that is.
Oh, Kimmy was this girl who used to come around and like just talk, and people seem to like her, but I don't know why. But so I don't know who you are, but I don't know. You could make a passing reference to her.
I'm not Kimmy Sokol. That's definitely not who I am.
Okay, good to know. Good to know. So what do you want to talk about? Not Kimmy Sokol.
I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Joel Pearl from Fightful Overbooked, if I'm reading your thing correctly. Again, I'm new here. I don't know how this works.
That's true. People normally we pop in and we talk about professional wrestling and the news and the world around us. It's a morning show.
I saw that. So I actually couldn't watch NXT yesterday because I'm from New York. And I couldn't watch it. It wasn't available to me.
Was there something else on? Was there coverage of a flood or something?
No, some presidential thing.
Was it a fire? Like a dumpster fire thing?
I don't know. It was some presidential political thing that I totally didn't really watch. But I couldn't watch NXT, so I had to go on everyone's Twitter to follow NXT.
Kind of feel dropping the bit. I do feel a little bad because NXT as a show was pretty enjoyable last night. They just couldn't show it to anyone because someone decided to talk for 3.5 hours.
Well, I think it was just New York and Chicago was the problem. I think everyone else was able to see it, but I think Ella was able to see it, and she's from New York too. So I don't know if it was just New York City because she's from New York State.
What a weird situation. The CW is they've got their affiliates, right?
I guess because my friends were like, "Why is it on CW?" And I go, "I don't know."
Yeah,
Good question.
y'all got to get a VPN.
I was really considering that. I could have went on the CW app. I want to low-key go to Roadblock next week, but those tickets are really expensive.
Well, you can call somebody.
Who?
Security guard working at the garden, Andrew Zarian. Andrew Zarian will take you right to the front row, drop a 50 in some security dude's lap and be like, your spot, madame. And then he'll go. That's the thing. Zarian won't even stick around. He'll just walk out of there and be like, you're on your own.
So, real Kimmy Stokel apparently heard that story on this show when Final Battle was in New York because he made Kimmy Stokel move her seat. Very rude.
Good.
No, he literally walks in and he goes, yeah, you need to move down. I'm like,
listen, you're close enough. Just when the show, I'm assuming you're close. You said you're New York. So let's just assume New York is like really just this tiny town where you can get anywhere in 5 minutes, right? That's what New York is.
Yeah. It would take me an hour to get there, roughly.
Oh, it's fine. So what you do is you get there, you hang around the venue, and then like when the show starts, you get a $5 ticket because they're just trying to fill the place out to say they're sold out.
That's what I was planning on doing, either for Raw or NXT, because it's roughly, they're next to it. I don't even know where the Madison Square Garden Theater is. I've asked my dad 20 times, and he's like, it's right next to it. And I go, no, it's like upstairs, I think.
It's the theater in Madison Square Garden. Isn't it in the basement? I always thought it was the basement.
I don't know. I've never been there. I've only been to Madison Square Garden.
That's it. We're looking it up on the internet.
I
Madison
literally,
Square
when
Garden.
they announced it, I was like, where the hell is this?
The theater at Madison Square Garden. Unforgettable starts here.
If you go on the website, you could rent it out. Because I was looking to see the attendance, and it gives you the option to rent it out if you want for like an event.
Arriving at the theater at MSG. Guests should enter through the main entrance on 7th Avenue between 31st and 33rd. See here for an entrance map.
Yeah, so I think it's upstairs. I think you have to go up like an escalator.
Yeah, I think you're right. This is wild.
Yeah, because when the MSG house show was there, you know, the one that always takes place during Christmas, there was Circus Olay going on during the house show. So the people that wanted to go to Circus Olay had to go upstairs.
I'm looking at the facilities, but no one's telling me if it's upstairs. But I'm going to assume that you're right. I always thought it was in like the basement, in the bowels of Madison Square Garden.
I don't think they have like a lower.
I mean, I don't know. Right. You have to dig into the spot.
There's like a million things also around Madison Square Garden too. I'm just like they show like the B-roll, and I'm like, where? Hello.
To get to the theater, okay, no, it's the same thing I just mentioned. Parking row. Okay, so it looks like there is a proper entrance, and it's like, yeah, like you've got to go inside Madison Square Garden, but it's like its own area. Kind of wild.
That's so stupid.
I mean, it should be a fun night for those who are attending. But yeah, how much are tickets now?
I was looking. When did I look? Monday. I think they were like $250-ish.
Woof. But I mean, listen, in Toronto, the tickets for Elimination Chamber were like $300 to sit up in the 500 section of a giant stadium.
Oh, I heard, because Ella was like, I need to get my tickets. And I'm like,
yep. It was a choice. Okay, you can get tickets for $100 in the 300 section of the theater.
But is that like isn't that all the way up though?
I mean, they're all the way up. It's all what you want to pay.
This is true.
Section 301, row D, is $98.
Oh my god! Because I want to see Rollins in the steel cage on Monday. Yeah. But then the Roadblock card is just stacked, and they obviously did because it's New York and they want to sell. Because even if you look at the Rawford Garden, it's not even close to being sold out because tickets are ridiculous.
They're going to sell it out. They're going to do something to sell out.
I mean, if Rollins and Punk in a steel cage ain't going to sell it out, I don't know what is anymore.
I mean, this is the last Raw before they go to Europe for a month, so I wouldn't be surprised if you see either John Cena or The Rock or Roman Reigns, one of those three. Roman Reigns wouldn't be a surprise because you've got Punk and Rollins in a steel cage. Feels like that's almost inevitable, but we've gotten to a point where Reigns, I should say, only shows up when he's promoted. He hasn't been a surprise since like SummerSlam when he made his return. Otherwise, it's been announced. So I could see it being either an announcement or a surprise, or they announce that John Cena is coming back. Like Cody Rhodes calls him out on Friday, and that's how they push tickets over the weekend.
Is he in another country filming a movie?
Allegedly, he flew to Africa after the Elimination Chamber. John Cena, which the wording in our report on Fightful was very funny because I was like, wait, who flew to Africa, John Cena or The Rock? And it was John Cena had flown out. The Rock was like, he's got to fly out too, but he was speaking for John, and John had gone to Africa. And I hadn't seen the John Cena mic drop yet. So I was just like, who's talking about this?
Well, remember, so The Rock technically owns John Cena's soul, technically.
Does he?
So I guess so. Yeah.
Because like the deal was for Cody's soul. The weight belt was for Cody's soul. I don't know whose soul The Rock gets if John Cena's just complicit to the entire thing. There was no soul donation. It was just, here I am.
Well, you know how like everyone's talking about like the fingers, like the 3 and the 2. So like there's a 1, obviously. So whoever that one person is, that's who's sold their soul to The Rock, whoever that's going to be.
Well, no, because it was 3 people were involved in the deal: The Rock, John Cena, and Brian Gewirtz, who wrote the whole damn thing.
Oh my God, everyone's a BFF around Mania time, Brian.
It was all Brian Gewirtz. He's gonna, in like 10 years, you're gonna get the story. He's gonna be like, it was me. I was the one.
He's the biggest heel around this time of year, and no one gives him like anything.
That's true. Someone's saying Undertaker. That's the last thing I want to see.
He's gonna be at NXT Roadblock.
They're all gonna be there. It's funny when they're like, all the coaches from LFG are gonna be like, they were there anyway. They were working that night. They worked in the afternoon. What are you doing? Come on. But that's just funny for us because we know this shit. Like, we know when their taping schedules are.
We're smart.
Are you going to watch Evolve tonight because you hate AEW?
No, we got a pay-per-view. I don't hate AEW. Are you going to watch
Evolve? There's no pay-per-view tonight. There's no pay-per-view.
There's a pay-per-view this weekend. Is it Saturday or Sunday? I don't even know what it is.
It's Sunday. Which is the worst. That means you're not going to get it until 3 a.m. if you're media on a Sunday, which is now going to be a Monday. Oh no, they're West Coast. So
yeah, they're in the West Coast, so it helps them.
It'll be midnight.
It'll be 3 o'clock. I hope Jeremy heals by then. You know, someone's got to cover the meeting. You're going to get everybody. You're going to get Christian. You're going to get Adam. You're going to get Cope. You're going to get the whole card.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be actually. No, I'll put over it. I think Dynamite's going to be a lot of fun tonight. And when we preview it, whether that's you and I or if that's somebody else or just me, it'll be. I think it's going to be a good show. I was mentioning at the top of the show that Big Boom AJ was at the Laker game and he was cutting promos for socials and in the arena about the event. They want to sell out that joint again, and I think Big Boom is someone who is very effective. I think he's really good at this. I watched the video and it was very funny because he had to come all the way back around about tickets being on sale. And like he said crypto.com arena like 27 times and whatever. Bless the man. He's out there. He's working. He's doing his thing, but he's going to be a fun match. I think the trios match on the 0 hour will be a lot of fun. It's something that I wish they had started doing earlier in the month or even last month in February, then waited all the way till the beginning just to do a last hard push for tickets through AJ. He's usually good for like that long-term stuff.
I know. I even forgot that he was supposed to be on the 0 hour because they announced it. I think at the ticketing event, he announced that he was going to wrestle at Revolution. And then I was looking at the Wikipedia of all the matches. I was like, oh, right. He's supposed to do something. What are we announcing? Are we waiting till like the day of? But I'm interested with Mark Briscoe because Gabe Kidd seemed to like call him out. So is he going to get involved in this match? Maybe.
I don't know about getting involved in this match, but maybe either something tonight, set something up, or, oh my God, this number keeps calling me. Spam number. It's the same number each time. It's a 1877 number, and I'm just like, I picked it up once, and now I regret it. Anyway, train of thought. Doesn't matter. I think that Gabe Kidd might show up as early as tonight to set something up for later. Maybe not Revolution, because obviously Briscoe's already in a match, but also this could be a New Japan match. Like this could be something that they do when New Japan comes back to the States, right? They've got the Resurgence show that's in May, which is a while from now, but I could see I could see them doing that later. I don't think Gabe Kidd's going to come out in a 0-hour comedy tag match to make his point. And that's the other thing. If you're media and you're watching us and you're going to be at Revolution, I'll probably post this on my socials too. But my one question about this whole thing was this always scheduled to be a trios match? Or maybe are they trying to cover for AJ and his injury because he broke his foot at Full Gear before the show? And he said he wanted to come back and wrestle, and he said he was going to wrestle at Revolution. Was that always the plan, was to do one-on-one, or was it the plan to do a trios match, or what was there a plan? Was it we're going to do it, but we're going to wait and see? I'm curious.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Someone should, if there's a media call like tomorrow, someone should ask that.
That's true.
I don't know if there's one.
There's allegedly a media call tomorrow. Tomorrow? Probably tomorrow.
They're usually on Thursdays.
Someone's going to get in on that. Won't be me. King Potato asking, who's Mark facing at Revolution? Well, Mark Briscoe is in a tag match with Orange Cassidy and Big Boom AJ. They're going to take on MXM and Johnny TV. Johnny every name.
Johnny Revolution.
Johnny Revolution. Johnny All Elites.
Listen, MXM has one of the Ring of Honor tag titles. Just one of them.
Yeah, they gotta get those back. Although Ring of Honor doesn't exist, so it doesn't matter.
I know.
That was the strangest text I ever got. You guys are back solo on TNA. I'm just like, we're doing what now? Is everyone okay?
I'm so upset that they didn't do Momo versus Athena, because Momo technically is the first person to pin Athena in like 2 years. So I thought that's what she was going to cash in her cup on, and they didn't. And I texted Jeremy. And I was like, what the hell is this?
Ring of Honor is not a thing. Athena is the closest thing to Ring of Honor that there is. Chris Jericho's parading around with a replica belt.
You know who was on the red carpet last night for the Queen of the Ring premiere in New York City? Athena. You know what she was carrying? The Ring of Honor Women's title.
Oh, someone's got to carry it around.
Red Velvet's injured.
That's true. We're sending our best to her. She's great. She really is. She's come a long way. But
she's the nicest person.
Again, I don't think anyone has issue with the wrestlers on Ring of Honor. Everyone that we speak to has issues with the booking or lack thereof with Ring of Honor. That's what it comes down to. There is some great talent on the shows. They're not getting the full opportunity to show off and make credible stories out of their titles or out of their feuds, whatever there is. They're just not doing it.
There is no story. You don't have to watch Ring of Honor every week. Like, you could just watch. You could watch 1 week and then like not watch for 3 weeks. Supercard of Honor is just never happening. Apparently, I thought they were going to do it Dynasty weekend.
Yeah, that's something that SP3 had mentioned. Like, that's a good idea. You do it the same weekend you're in Philly. Philly's a big spot to do a show like that. But if they're not going to do it, then kind of stuck. I would have done a 2300 arena. It's just down the street from where they were running.
And it probably would have sold out.
Probably, but it's not our call. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Not my circus of honor.
Hi, Caden.
Calling you out.
It's not Kimmy Sokol. Do you not read the name tag Caden?
Yeah, exactly. If it was, I'd be asking Kimmy about her job and all of her friends. But we're not.
I don't see Caden here.
Caden's not welcome here. It's fine.
Oh, he's not. Oh, he's banned.
He's banned. Kimmy's last podcast.
I'm not here. I don't know who Kimmy is.
It's fine. After this show, Kate and I are going to do a post show where I absolutely rip on Kimmy's last podcast. Do you know this? Did you know, you didn't see this. This is before your time because you're like 12. The Ric Flair's last match. You saw the show.
I was there. I was physically there.
My condolences. Kate and I did a post show. And I very famously lost my shit on that post show. There's a rant on YouTube. Actually, it's unlisted. I'll post it to my socials as I do every once in a while. But yeah, there was a whole ass rant about that match.
Because Starcast ran, so I was there for Starcast, and I got comped to the show, and I was like, oh, both his shoulders were on the mat. I was the only person who realized that, and I was like, this match isn't over.
You weren't the only person, let me tell you.
Was it in your rant?
It may have been in my rant. There were a lot of things in that rant. My favorite part was hearing Karen Jarrett yell at the top of her lungs, "I'll fucking kill you," among other things.
The worst part was because I wasn't 21 yet. It was 2 weeks before my 21st birthday, so I couldn't even do anything in Nashville. I couldn't go to a bar, couldn't go on Broadway. I went to Waffle House for the first time, though. The one and only time I've been to Waffle House, because that was the only place I could go.
Did you find Muscle Man Malcolm so we can ask you what your order is?
No,
That's the love that man.
Oh, I was dying at his question to The Rock. I thought it was the funniest thing. So when I saw Malcolm, when did I see him? A month ago at an indie show, I told him that I've only been to Waffle House once. And he goes, "You should walk to a Waffle House. It's not that far." I go, "The nearest Waffle House to me is in Pennsylvania. That is 2 states over, my dude. It doesn't work that way."
That's amazing. In Toronto, he's pulling talent and like content creators off to the side and be like, "What's your Waffle House order?" I'm like, "You really doing this, eh?" He's got like Chris Van Vliet and he's taking like Wrestling Classic and he's got Jason Hodge from TNA. Like, "What's your Waffle House order?" I'm like,
like, he just posted Wrestling Classics Waffle House order.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, that's right. Because people kept walking in front of the camera. It was very funny. Oh, this Ella J person's asking, "What is this?"
Who is that?
Who is this?
Toronto was fun. I was on FaceTime with Ella for some of those times.
I was lucky enough to be able to meet some of the new pals and some of the ones I haven't had a chance to spend much time with. So Toronto was a lot of things. It wasn't my favorite weekend, but it was a good one. We have some good weekends coming up soon, I promise.
Ooh.
Yeah, you'll see. I'm
excited to see. I don't know what it is.
Oh, well, you just had to pay attention then. Hey, so Travis Scott is
my God.
He's a shooter.
I was like, "What are you doing, bud?" And then the report that came out yesterday about his busted eardrum and the black eye. I go, damn.
Did you just that wasn't me.
I didn't do anything.
Oh, someone's messing around with stuff who's not in this place. What is this stuff? There we go.
I don't even have controls to do that.
Don't know what that was about. Someone's gonna pop in and keep doing it. You just know it's gonna happen. It's fine. It's probably, you know what? It's probably someone setting up for another show. That used to be a StreamYard problem. Was if you're setting up for something else and you click a different asset, everyone's show, live or not, goes wonky. But here we are. Anyway, Travis Scott allegedly busted up Cody Rhodes' eardrum and blackened his eye. The black eye thing we saw, you could see very clearly. It was either from the shot or it was from the belt shot that Cena gave to Cody, which Cody loved it. Like, Cody obviously was all about like, just whack me as hard as you want, John. Let's make memories. You knew Cody was all about it. But I felt bad for Travis, and I feel bad for Cody, obviously, because he's the one injured out of this. But like, Travis is training. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the ring, has a proper match, and the first thing Cody does is just potatoes him. There's your receipt. Yep.
Maybe SummerSlam Jersey.
They've got 2 nights to fill. I don't know how they're going to do it because, again, like, you do have a deep roster. You can do, one night flows into the second night, or 2 nights are just very different.
I don't know how they're doing 2 nights. I think it's like stupid.
I mean, you knew they were going to do it. It was inevitable doing 2 nights for SummerSlam. Was
it?
Yeah, it was. Let's face it. Once WrestleMania became such a big deal and they started heating up the product, you knew it was going to happen. And then next up, Royal Rumble and Money in the Bank. I don't think Survivor Series is going to become a 2-night event because it's not that important. But instead, at least they haven't put the importance on it. But it's just going to be, it's going to be closer to those other ones. Money in the Bank makes sense to be the last one to do it. Royal Rumble, you can get away with it. They're certainly not going to do it next year, I'll tell you that much. But 2027, they could do it.
Royal Rumble next year scares me.
We posited the idea that they would just do Royal Rumbles night 1 and 2. One would be foreign and one would be domestic. And you could guess who main events the domestic one.
I said to Ella, I'm like, are they going to even have 30 women to fill the Women's Royal Rumble?
They will. That's been the one thing. Like, I'm not gonna sports watch or speak nicely about the Saudi regime and the shit that happens there. But I will say as much that more and more women have been involved on the show. That's about as far as I'll go. Whether or not, like, feel how you will about the shows, and I'm not the biggest fan of all that stuff. And I know TKO just came out with they're partnering with the PIF again to set up a boxing company or boxing organization, sure, whatever. But I think the Women's Royal Rumble doesn't feel like it's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't feel that way. They continue to have women's matches on the Saudi cards. Feel how you will about having them wear full head to toe gear. But as of right now, like it's there. So I don't think they're going to get rid of the Women's Royal Rumble. I think a lot of people are going to have to get a lot of extended gear, but or just wear baggy t-shirts. Remember when it used to be baggy t-shirts?
Yes, I remember because I used to watch it in college. Like I would be in class watching it, and then my teacher would be like, "What are you watching?" And I'm like, "It doesn't matter. Just continue teaching. I'm totally paying attention, guys." I was not paying attention.
No, I was at work watching the first Saudi show in 2018. I was sitting at my desk with the computer, and I worked in an open desk office, like a very open space. I worked for a startup, and they're like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, thankfully my supervisor was a wrestling fan, like a kind of off to the side. He's like, "What are you watching at this hour?" I'm like, "There's a show. It's in Saudi Arabia." He's like, "Isn't that bad?" I'm like, "Depends who you ask. Yes, it's bad, but also it's something to do while I do my job." He's like, "All right, keep going."
I was in high school for the first one. I remember the pre-show started, and I was in my coach's room for lunch, and he goes, "What wrestling are you watching?" I go, "Oh, it's in Saudi Arabia. It's live." And he goes, "What?" And I go, "Yeah, look." And he goes, "So what are you going to do during the rest of your school day?" I'm like, "I'm going to put my phone in my pocket, I'm going to put my headphones in, and no one will know." And then I remember they were playing like the U.S. national anthem, so I'm in like trig class like this, paying my respects to the USA. Everyone's like, "What the hell are you doing?" What a time.
That was a time. Hey, speaking of times, SP3's here. Hi.
Oh my god.
I was very confused. I was like, you have a co-host. So why am I here?
Well, I mean, you didn't have to be. You could have just watched the product and found that I had another person here. You know? But you're here. You're welcome here.
I did watch the product when you went live and you were alone. So I was like, let me go pick up my kids from school, bring them back home, and then I'll jump on here. But you already had a host, so I'll go back to my regular 9 to 5. But I just want to say hi to Kimmy. Hi, Kimmy.
Hi. I mean, I don't know who Kimmy is. It's not me. But hi.
Hi, Kimmy.
No, didn't you get it? It's just, that's not Kimmy. That's not. It says right there, not Kimmy.
Not Kimmy.
Hi, Kimmy. What are you guys talking about?
Ella just wrote my government name in the chat. I feel offended.
She's not using her full government name.
And I also saw people in the chat asking where I was. So
they were.
I felt it was necessary for me to at least jump on here, even though I have like 1 more hour of work. But y'all could have helped me with my last feature after, right? But you know.
Okay, what are we gonna do? Let's
what are you writing?
Yeah.
What is it that I'm working on?
I don't know. It's your feature.
I'm Joel. This is a question. This is an internal question to myself. Don't let me go in. I'll put you on trial. I put Romeo on trial for not giving me credit for calling John Cena's heel turn. You're gonna be on trial next. Don't do this. Don't do this, sir.
Oh, you called the heel turn? Look at you, SK3.
Yes, I did. And I argued against Joel on Friday because Joel was like, "Oh my God, what about his merch sales? Like, we don't have 1,001 heels who sell a bunch of merch in WWE, but what about John Cena's merch sales for his final year?" A Canadian. But I'm working on former WWE World Champions to potentially be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame. That is the feature that I'm working on. I already came up with the names, but y'all can make me do more work if y'all have a good name that y'all want to bring up for me to add.
Did
you put Luger? I mean, Luger wasn't world champ.
Yeah, it wasn't WWE World Champion. Yeah, I was so close to putting him on there. I was like, key word was WWE World Champion. I was like, damn it.
Well, I mean,
I wasn't born.
He had the world champion that one time until they took it away.
I mean, He won by count out at SummerSlam, and they did a test run for the live crowd.
Test run. You count the photo from the test run, and now you get a little honorable mention.
It was like, just in case this comes out after WrestleMania, let's see if Vince changes his mind. Even back in 1994, creative was still worried if Vince was going to change his mind.
Some things never change.
So you're talking about world champions who are not in the Hall of Fame and deserve to be.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to leave out like obvious names like John Cena and stuff like that, because I've done so many features on John Cena since the heel turn on Saturday, because I've had 3 different shifts now. I did put my namesake, don't worry, Gray Streams. I did put my namesake, Cycle Sid. That was the last name that I just added. So don't worry about that. But the more
Gray.
obvious, he's probably going to be number one on my list. But yeah,
Jericho's obviously on your list.
No, you didn't put him on there, did you?
I mean,
I have too much PTSD from reviewing Ring of Honor for the past almost a year. So
he wasn't there. What does it matter? Except for those 1 minutes.
The New York Minute, not in New York.
But that was great. That was the only great time as Chris Jericho being Ring of Honor World Champion, when I popped Kimmy and the rest of the media at Hammerside Ballroom because I sang the full New York, New York. I was the only person in the building on 34th Street and 8th Avenue who knew every word to New York, New York. Why? Because I worked in Yankee Stadium the final year of the old stadium back in 2008, and that was my alarm clock to know that I was off work. When I heard New York, New York, I was like, oh guys, let me grab some chicken tenders for dinner tonight, and then let me skedaddle up out of here. They used to let us get all the free chicken tenders that were left over. Good stuff. I never was hungry leaving work.
Jeff Hardy.
Oh, that's a good name. Damn, Joel.
It is inevitable that Jeff.
It is inevitable. That is a good one. And now I'm either gonna have to take a name off or add a name. I only have 6 names up here, so I'll add a name. So yeah, we'll make it 7.
Only other name that I'm looking at is Randy, and he's still active. And
I did put him on the list though, because they have set the precedent of active performers going to the Hall of Fame, like Rey Mysterio in 2023. Paul Heyman, he's not an in-ring competitor, but he is still active in 2024. So I was like, let me put at least one active. If I'm not going to put Cena, it had to be Orton.
Did you put Big E?
Oh shit! Damn it! You're gonna make me have to work past 12 o'clock now. God damn!
This is the problem. You get a guy like
I should have never brought this shit up.
You can put AJ if you want, because he wants to retire before 50. He's turning 48 in July.
Well, they're not going to do it yet. They'll probably wait till he's like 48, 49 before they put him in.
You don't know that.
I just took out one big for another. I had Big Show, so I took out Big Show and put in Big E.
Okay, that works.
You mean the board of directors? How dare you, SP3?
You know, Ring of Honor board of directors. He's doing so much work, right?
What about Mox? Finally, Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, I think I've included him on other articles, but I was like, this one, let me leave out. I was trying my best to leave out any AEW names. So you actually helped me by suggesting Big E. So I took out Big Show and then put in Big E. So that helped me a lot. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm glad now I'm actually glad I suggested it. See, Joel, you redeemed yourself for not giving me praise on Monday's show for
I gave you
the John Cena heel turn, right?
Who are you? No, I gave you 2. I gave you 2 names right there, Big E and Jeff Hardy, 2 champions who never made it.
No. I don't need any more suggestions, or you're gonna make me work longer.
I've stopped. I will stop the suggesting, but we did some good stuff. Remember, we were looking for WWE champions who are not in the Hall of Fame, who are not currently in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
People are saying like Dustin Rhodes, Eugene, Dom Mysterio, Jake Roberts. Stop it.
Like Matt Hardy. I'm like WWE World Champions.
Yeah, not the ECW World Champion.
Yeah,
that doesn't count.
They didn't even call it ECW World Champion when he won. It was the ECW Championship.
It's like the NXT Championship is not the NXT World Championship. People call it that, and it drives me nuts.
Really?
Yeah, just because it's like, then I get tripped up on it when I talk about NXT, because once in a while I'll be like, Obafemi is the NXT world champion. I'm like, no, he's not. He's just the NXT champion.
They don't really go around the world for NXT anymore, so you know.
Yeah, they used to back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, one day. Just not
One
today.
day. It's not today.
Maybe 2026 or 7.
Breaking news. Starting with AEW Revolution this Sunday, AEW pay-per-view events will now be available to purchase on Prime Video. It'll be available for fans across the US, Canada, and the United Kingdom.
Is it cheaper on Prime? Can I investigate this?
I doubt it. You can go and take a look. I'm just looking at the press release from AEW PR that came out this morning.
Oh my god. Maybe I'll order it on Prime. Let's see. If I can find
I
it.
might think about that. If it's available here in the UK, I might think about that.
You should.
Yeah.
The deal represents a significant evolution in the distribution of AEW's content. This includes all AEW tentpole events, including Revolution, Dynasty, Double or Nothing, All In, Forbidden Door, All Out, Wrestle Dream, Full Gear, and Worlds, basically all of them for the rest of the year.
Just name all of them. They just listed all.
Whoever's writing the press releases really went for the 500-word limit on this.
That would be me
no.
in college, though.
Yeah, well, don't worry. Never mind. I'm not going to say it. Yeah, then they just tout, not the platform. They tout the Prime Video and all that stuff.
You always are a merchant for tout. You know, it was
Tout.
big in our day.
It was. Did you have a tout account?
No, I did not. I only knew about it because Bryan Danielson was very much into it.
His favorite thing.
I had a tout account. I don't think I used it. I had no
Why
reason.
did you have a tout account?
Probably because WWE told me to get one. And I was an impressionable youth.
That's crazy.
An impressionable you were my age. You were in your 20s.
People are saying that Revolution is $50 on Amazon. It's the same price as Triller if you're,
I can't find it.
but
Why
they're
is it
saying 19.99 euro on Prime, or pound, sorry, on Prime UK. So something to look into.
Oh, so
We're
it's
gonna
the same price. Who cares?
I believe if you go to youtube.com/Fightful, we'll tell you all about a particular VPN you can get your hands on for a significant discount.
Oh, yes. I hear it quite often when I watch Shawn's Wednesday show.
Why just his Wednesday show? Why aren't you watching the Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, and Friday show? Specifically
Because I need-
Thursday nights.
Because I need something to watch while I'm eating lunch.
Fair. That's fair. It's usually while I'm cooking dinner, so I get it. Grace is saying Revolution and Dynasty is $68 Canadian on Triller. Why not the $1 more? Come on, where's my nice? AEW
You should
one
reply
thing.
to the press release and say that.
They don't have any numbers listed on the press release, so I can't do it. That'd be too easy.
Well, make it work. You can find a way.
No, then I have to reach out to AEW PR. They don't like that. Actually, I don't think they know or care much about me.
Oh, John Cena is being advertised for 3 different SmackDowns.
Is he?
May 30th, June 13th, and June 20th.
Oh, they really want to hotshot those ticket sales.
It's in Tennessee, Kentucky, and Michigan. So
Sean's going to go to that Kentucky one.
For sure.
John Cena being there, he's absolutely going to go. Not because he's a big John Cena fan, but because that means something will happen in that show.
Yeah.
He'll come out and say, I did it for The Rock. I did it for the people.
But kind of be far after he did the whole deal for him to say that.
So this is what I'm curious about. I don't know if you and Jeremy really talked about it yesterday, because Jeremy was sick as a dog and apparently still is. How is John Cena going to explain joining The Rock? Is it I was going to take the deal if Cody didn't? We thought Cody wasn't going to take it, so I was next up. I approached The Rock and told him, I'm your guy, not Cody. Like, how is John Cena going to explain this? Because, again, as I mentioned on Monday, in the kayfabe world, he came in, he won the chamber, did it by like nefarious means, but it was outside of his control. Like Seth Rollins was the reason John Cena won. not John Cena taking advantage of something he caused. So
Well,
explain the John Cena heel turn from the chamber to the moments. Like, how is he going to tell it?
Well, I can explain it from the ending of Royal Rumble to the chamber and everything, because when he did the press conference after the Royal Rumble, he didn't just say, "Oh, I'm declaring for the Elimination Chamber. I hope I win." He said, I'm gonna win the Elimination Chamber, and I'm gonna main event my final WrestleMania because that's what's best for business." So he had full confidence that he was going to be the guy who won the Elimination Chamber. Things just worked out in his favor. That's how it is to be John Cena, Hollywood elite. And when he won the chamber, also you can notice throughout the whole segment between Cody and The Rock, he's behind Cody and he's basically amping up Cody to say no. He's like, listen to the fans, you see the WrestleMania sign, it's going to be the biggest win ever. He's basically trying to go Cody into making a decision that 2005 or 2010 or 2011 John Cena would have made, because he knows how Cody is thinking. And Cody, this whole time that he's been champion, what has he said? What kind of schedule has he said he's taking? He didn't say he's taking on the workhorse champion schedule. He didn't say he's taking on a Hulk Hogan schedule. He didn't say he's taking on a Stone Cold schedule. He said he's taking on the John Cena schedule. So John Cena knew everything that Cody was going to do. He knew Cody was going to turn him down. He knew that The Rock would need a corporate champion. And John Cena is so desperate right now. He said it in his first promo back. He has not won a singles match in over 4 years. He's so desperate to get that final 17th world champion, to break the record that was denied of him to even tie by freaking Daily Show host Jon Stewart. And now Jon Stewart want to use his heel turn to make propaganda and entertainment.
An excellent video that was, by the way. Go check it out on YouTube. Really good stuff.
Really good stuff. But John Cena will not stand for any of this. This has been all in line all along. The Rock passed the torch to John Cena almost 12 years ago at WrestleMania 29, the first WrestleMania I was ever live for. He's already been The Rock's corporate champion, the man that The Rock thought could be the person to hold down the fort for him. He did that, and now he's back to take back the torch, because Cody is he's not doing the John Cena schedule. He's not John Cena. He's Cody Rhodes. And now John Cena needs to take his place back at the top of WWE with the two-man Hollywood power trip.
So here's my one pushback on all that. He's got to say that. Otherwise, everything you just said is headcanon. And that's not like, I'm not.
He doesn't need, I am speaking for John Cena.
Just like, he's the Paul Heyman.
I'm an advocate for John Cena, because he told me we're friends on Twitter. He DM'd me and he told me what was gonna happen. I'm pulling back the curtain. The reason that I predicted this is Cena told me. Cena told me long ago that this was gonna happen. I'm sorry, guys. I lied to all of y'all. It wasn't prediction. It was a spoiler.
He won't even answer Kate's DM. Damn, you got an answer from him?
He DM'd me. I can't DM him. I'm not verified.
Yeah, the first thing he said was, "You up?"
Yep. No.
YOU, it's you.
No. He hit me up with the "Hey, big head."
Well, glad y'all didn't hear what just happened in the background of my shot.
Is everything okay?
I hope so. It was a painting and a TV just fell on the ground.
Oh.
The TV was already on the ground. It just flopped over. It's a 32-inch smart TV that I found, and it works. But Friday show, Adrian Hernandez was here, and he knows. Everyone now knows there's a TV up here on this giant shelving unit. That one's fine. Didn't go anywhere. But there's another one that I'm going to switch out for. Anyway, it fell. So I don't have ghosts. I just have
everyone's okay though.
Yeah, it's just me here, so it doesn't really matter. So everyone's out of the house today. Kids at school, wife's away. Everyone's happy. Yeah, John Cena's soul knocked it over.
For you.
Pardon?
I said it's still early for you. It's like 4:00. It's like 4:30 for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That's early for you.
That is early for me.
11:20 in the morning. My God.
I've been up since 6. What does it matter? MJF loved the heel turn though.
He did.
That was an amazing clip he gave in that interview.
It was.
The man knows how to speak. Again, oh my God, it's that fucking number again. I've been getting this spam call from the same 187 number all friggin' morning. And it always just catches me at the worst possible spot. Oh my God. Anyway, point is he goes on it was a Jimmy Trainers podcast, and he's talking about his deal. He says he's making all this money, and when he's asked about the John Cena turn, he's good. I like what MJF is up to now. I like the story with Hangman Page. I like where it's going. I like when MJF doesn't have to go immediately to the low-hanging fruit. It doesn't have to go immediately to the same thing that he always does. This is a different presentation for MJF, and for me, I like it. And for him to once in a while talk about, what's going on outside of the AEW bubble, it's good stuff. I like it. Someone saying,
I like that.
Help me.
Oh yes, it is John Cena. It's John Cena's soul. I like that he was like, if you ask anyone on the other side if they watch AEW, they're lying to you. I was like, damn, Max, you really shoot into everybody. But that's just Max. I've learned from experience that's just him. SP3, did I tell you he kicked a figure at me?
Good.
I mean, us New Yorkers, we tend to do that. He's from your neck of the woods, so to be fair.
I know. I was so upset. He was like, it barely hit you. I go, sir, I have a scratch on my leg.
You could sue. Damages.
His dad was standing right there. His dad was like, walk it off, child. I go, I can't win. Father like son.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. So someone's saying answer the call, tell them to FO. I've answered the call once. It starts with music, and then it's one of those calls that are making sure that it's a real number so that they can harass me more. And I never
Why did you answer it in the first place?
That's the thing. I picked it up the third time because I thought so. I was spending some money this morning on some things, and I thought it was one of the places that I spent the money trying to get at me to confirm something, but it wasn't that. It would just happen to be a spam call, and now they just keep calling. Yeah,
they're gonna blow you up for the rest of the week now.
Just block the number.
That's gonna be the next thing, but they could be spoofing the number. That's the It's very annoying. Yes, I do have an iPhone, and yes, I'll block the number, but iPhones here are weird when it comes to Canada. It's dumb. I picked up my phone upside down. This has been my saga all morning, dealing with these people, these non-existent people.
You people.
That's the John Cena that I'm waiting for.
John Cena cutting his first "You People" promo. Now I can't wait for the John Cena hits Cody Rhodes when Cody Rhodes gets like, "What do you want to talk about?" And he gets all emotional and talks about his father and being like, "I worked so hard to get this title. I've held on to it. I've done this. I've done that. I was gonna sell my soul to The Rock, and now John Cena comes out here and betrays all the fans that I've been here for." And John Cena just comes out and says, "Fine speech," then leaves.
SP3, do you think he's going to keep his theme song, or do you think he's going to change his theme song?
Oh, well, I gotta shout out Corey Michaels. He did an article on last word on sports because he watched me and Maggie, a Fightful Overbooked, over on the True Hill Heat Elimination Chamber preview, and he came up with the best idea. They do an orchestra version of Time Is Now. They slow it down. You get the flutes. You get the trombones.
That sounds so awful, and I'm all about it.
It's so awful. It works. It's so much heat.
Succession, the Cena version.
You'll get the live performance at Mania of just an orchestra.
Just an orchestra.
What I think would work is him and Travis Scott doing a thing, just doing a new track.
Oh.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Travis Scott does trademarks verse.
Oh, sure, you could do that. I don't even know. Like, okay, so when Judgment Day all turned heel, they just took all of the the themes from the good guys and just made them into minor keys. So like Finn Balor's theme suddenly became super deep and in a minor key. They'll just do that. John Cena's theme is suddenly going to transition from major to minor, and then it'll be really weird. Is there a doc that can let me do that? Make major key song into minor. This is so niche. I don't think there's something
this is so niche. This is why In the Weeds is awesome.
Joel's about to make cinema over here in music.
We're making cinema, folks.
People are giving me how to do it. Software to convert major to minor. Is there any website I can use? Look up the key of that song, then use the minor version of the scale. I don't want to go that hard on this. Apparently there is software.
Joel doesn't want to do the grind to make the cinema.
I spent so many years doing music stuff. I just don't want to do this. People are like,
I'm over it now.
I'm over it. Once the pandemic hit, we're almost 5 years removed from my last show ever. My last show from a while. But yeah, no, I'm not going to do this.
I want to see Joe perform live. That should be like a Fightful thing. You know how like all these other big YouTube platforms do like live shows. Fightful's is going to have Joel do a concert.
I mean,
it's gonna be like you have a live The Hump with Shawn and Jimmy, then you do like an interlude, and the halftime show is Joel performing. And I'll play drums. I played drums in the band in high school, so I'll play drums for you.
At one point, Shawn was talking about putting all these people, all of the musicians of Fightful together to work on something.
That'd be cool.
Make a Fightful song of like a commercial. You could do something like that.
Yeah, I did the Canadian national anthem last week after the Canadians won the Four Nations Cup. That's how we opened the last week. Got us copyrighted for no reason, even though I karaoke tracked it. It still exists.
I'm surprised we didn't get copyright for me doing the Lyra Valkyria theme song.
Yeah, no, I think that's because you did a really solid a cappella version, not the you didn't have the background track like I did. For some reason, the background track got caught. But whatever.
That's weird.
I used to do that for a living of just doing acapella versions of used to be sitcoms. That was my thing. Sitcom themes.
I was gonna say of just sitcoms. That's just you reading scripts.
No. Sitcom theme songs. I mean, come on, sir.
I don't know. I don't track your life. The concert thing. Yeah, I used to have a Twitch that I would go live and just play music and play songs and talk about whatever. Hopefully not wrestling. But then I had a kid and everything went to working on this. So here I am. But yeah, I don't play much anymore. My guitars are in here. They're in this thing right now.
I'm learning so much about Joel.
Oh, there's so much.
That you made the In the Weeds theme song?
I didn't. Tim did. My old co-host Tim made the song.
Oh man, that would have been great to be like you made it too. That you and Tim did it together. That would.
We worked on it together in that I gave him ideas and he manifested them. He does more of the keyboard stuff. He's also a bassist as Tim, but he also messes around on keyboards. So Tim came up earlier in the show when I was talking about the looking for a co-host. People were like, get Tim, and I was like, nah, Tim's working. Tim has a real job. Jerk.
I have a real job too, but I'm doing it. No, yeah. Actually, what I'm doing right now is actually setting up a stream for True Hill Heat, but I'm also supposed to be doing my job. But
well, that's a job. True Hill Heat's a
You're
job.
multitasking.
I'm multitasking. I'm on this podcast, writing a feature for Wrestle Talk, and setting up a stream for True Hill Heat. This is the day in my life. I have so many streams to do today. It's going to be a very long day.
Well, at least your Thursday is going to be a little lighter.
What? Jeremy's canceling?
No, I mean Thursday
at night.
Thursday
night.
Oh yes! Oh thank God! Yeah, me and Kate were on Twitter yesterday. She was like, oh, I love doing shows with SP3, but I'm so glad to have my Thursday nights back. I was like, I've been looking forward all week to going to sleep early. I'm not even gonna stay up and watch Ring of Honor. I'm going to sleep at like midnight. It started at midnight over here, folks. I am not staying up for it anymore.
Dude, I was ready to go to bed at 9:45 last night, and then I realized I have to do all of the setup for this show. I got to bed at like 11 o'clock. Kimmy, up at 6 daily. This is my world. Yesterday, I accomplished all the things I needed to do before 1 o'clock. And I was downtown Toronto all morning from like, I dropped the kid off at 7:45 because he was up early in the morning like I was. Dropped him off at daycare. We ended up coming home to deal with some passport stuff. Then I went downtown, did all the things I needed to do, came back by 1 o'clock, and I'm like, oh shit, now what?
Nap time.
I wanted to, but I didn't have the time because I had other things to do. That were
Nap time's essential.
Yeah, most of the time it is. Someone's saying it sucks now. There's only a TNA review. Buddy, tell me about it.
Oh,
We'll find out on Tuesday if they have to drop in a replacement for Cora Jade's Knockouts title match. I hope not. It sounds like she just got her head rocked. Hopefully she's okay.
I hope so. I hope she's all right. Because I was like, because I was watching it on Netflix, which doesn't have.
Lucky you.
I know.
I watched it on Netflix too. It's great.
Yeah, doesn't have the ad break. So during the ad break, that's when it all happened, and I'm just like, oh no. I'm like testing True Hill Heat chat. I was like, oh no. I was like, Corey's going out again. I was like, yo, what type of voodoo do they have in that performance center with her and Nikita Lyons? Like, I was like, God damn, because she was holding on to her knee, and I was like, I was so worried. I was very thankful, to her tweet that she put out, kind of informing us that it wasn't the knee, that she got rocked a little bit. Hopefully she's gonna be all right. But I was like, God damn. I was like, they need an exorcist at the PC at this point.
Yeah, it's like I said, she tweeted out she's okay. She got rocked. It seems like it was her head, and obviously had injuries of any kind are serious, but we don't know. Maybe she got winded. Maybe she just kind of snapped back and needed a minute, and they called the match just to be safe. But yeah, if she's able to go, great. If not, then we send our best, and hopefully she gets well soon. But it's a really, really weird moment because, all the internet, all the lip readers were like, she says my knee. And I was like, nah, I'm going to wait on that because I said it at the top of the show. She walked out under her own power after the match got called. And I was like, I think she's okay. I think her knee's okay.
This was a little bit lighter of an NXT show. Like, the last 2 weeks have been great episodes of NXT in comparison to like the rest of the year. Last night was just like, it was kind of there. It was kind of a build show for next week's Roadblock. And Shawn Spears won a title for some reason.
SP3, it's almost as if they didn't have tickets to sale for this particular week.
You know what? You bring up a good point.
It's almost as if the buses were ready for everyone who usually goes to be shuttled to the PC for the show they all watch every week.
And
good point.
Cassie Lee was there too, watching her husband win the title.
And I was watching Cassie Lee have her first match back last week at Smash Wrestling.
How did that go?
The show was good.
Was her match good?
So she had the flu, which was one thing she mentioned. She was facing Alexia Nicole, who's a really, really great worker out of Ontario, out of Toronto. The match was fine. There were a lot of psychology things that I sat there being like, what are we doing? They introduce a chair, they do a ref double down spot, like they do a ref down spot, then they bring another ref down and they knock out that ref. Like there were certain moments where I was just like, you didn't need to go this far. They used Alexia Nicole's gimmick is that she had her arm reconstructed at one point because she had a bad bicep injury, I think. So she comes to the ring as like bionic is kind of her gimmick. So she wears an arm thing. And she used that to knock out Cassie at one point when the referees were down. But she had also already used the chair. So then Cassie kicks out. Alexia knocks down that referee. They get up, both of them. They fight for the chair, not the weapon that took out Cassie. So I was just a little like, whoa, what are we doing here? And it was just awkward in different spots. There was also quite the height discrepancy because those who know Alexia Nicole, she's like every bit of 4'10". She's very small, and Cassie is a taller woman. She's not super duper tall, but she's probably 5'7", 5'8", and compared to one another, there was quite a height differential. So for her first match back, I think she did great. I think she had the jitters. There was obviously some ring rust. I know she's been training a lot. But like, listen, she did more than I could in the ring, so I can't take that away from her. There were just moments, if they had someone producing the match, I would have been like, why'd you let this happen? But it's the end. You do this shit. That's fine. Like, it's not up to me to have those moments. But again, it was good to see Cassie back. She's going to come back and work Rebel Mania here in Toronto, which is like their big show, WrestleMania weekend, and she's bringing Jessie McKay with her. So she's challenging Jody Threat for the Smash Women's Championship in April. That's going to be Cassie and Jody Threat, which to me, fantastic match. And if that's a little layer to get a little closer to them working in TNA again, then I'd be all for that too. But who knows?
I'm excited because she's wrestling in Vegas too. I don't know what company it's for.
Prestige.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, that's exciting.
You got some good shows lined up for Vegas Mania weekend so far.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a very fun WrestleMania week, show-wise. Everyone's going to watch TNA Unbreakable.
Everyone's going to go to WrestleCon.
Well, of course. But
maybe.
I will say, Mania doesn't have the same feeling. Mania weekend doesn't have the same feeling for me because Speedball's not there. I was like, Speedball's been so synonymous with Mania weekend that if I feel like looking at the Mania lineups and not seeing some dope Speedball matches is just like, it's a little piece of me. It's gone.
I want people to check out Von Vertigo. He's going to try and take that mantle from Speedball. He's another Ontario guy. There was a big splash when he got his visa to work in the States for the next little while. He faced Steve Macklin at the last Blood Brothers show. He was also on the Smash card. Von's been at it for quite a few years here in Toronto. He's a guy to keep your eyes on. He's one of those dudes that has the potential to do what Speedball was doing on the independents. He's fantastic. So it'll be good. Someone was asking, I know AEW doesn't do a WrestleMania week show, but can't the talent work indies? They can. Speedball right now is a different case because he is waiting on his visa to get cleared. So he's been in Quebec. He's been back in Canada for the last little while, waiting to get clearance so that he can come back full time to the States and then start with AEW. So it's not a case of AEW saying Speedball can't work. It's a case of waiting on a visa to get back in the world, back in the workspace.
And honestly, if I'm Speedball, Mike Bailey, like you worked all these crazy schedule for these Mania weekends to get your payday. And you got your payday, so I mean, I think you deserve the WrestleMania weekend off this year.
On top of that, he's mentioned himself that he doesn't want to go as hard as he did in the past. Like, everything you said is true, but also he's like, I don't need to kill myself for this.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to have more quality matches instead of quantity matches.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. I'm so happy for him.
Me too.
Nicest guy ever.
I can't wait for him to debut.
Yeah.
Whenever that
is. He's probably the guy that I've interviewed the most. I interviewed him twice on his own and then once with Trent Seven at Speedball Mountain. So
I did a sit down with him in Vegas after Hard to Kill weekend. It was in my room at the Luxor. By the way, don't stay at the Luxor unless it's free. Then stay at the Luxor. Whatever. They're not sponsoring me.
Well, now they're not going to.
No, they're definitely not.
They never were. They put me in the South Tower room. It was a free couple of nights because I had the My Vegas app, and I just played that game incessantly. Listen, if you're going to Mania and you're going to Vegas, play the My Vegas app. Yes, they take all your data. Yes, they'll probably sell it to another foreign country, but at least you'll get all the points you need so that you can get a free night stay at a hotel of your choosing as long as you have enough. People that agree with me, don't stay at the Luxor, especially in the towers.
One person agreed with you.
That's funny.
He's like, people. That's people. He's not wrong.
That's people. Other people will agree. Listen, I had a couple of nights at the Palms Place, which is next door to Palms. Fantastic. I will put them over. There was a nice Mountain View suite. I had the mini fridge. I had the full cooktop. It was good. I loved it. And then I moved to the Luxor and I was like, $5 for a bottle of soda. I am going to go crazy. At least there was a CVS down the street when I was at Palms because we were just off the way. What is this? Now I'm getting just random text messages from 201 area codes. Where's the 201 area code?
What is going on?
Why?
You're very popular, Joel.
No, yeah, I'm not.
For real.
New Jersey. Is it you? Are you texting me?
No, I DM'd you.
That's true.
Your number. And I'm also not from New Jersey.
Fuck. Random ass. Anyway, don't say Luxor is what I'm saying. It's the same person calling me from the spam call.
Y'all made, like the Luxor is not pleased with your comments on In the Weeds today.
haven't seen you in a couple of years. How you doing?
How you doing?
It's Jersey Jacob.
Jersey Jacob. Oh my god, I popped every time you and Jeremy kept messing that up.
It wasn't me. Someone else said it was. Oh, is the My Vegas app sending text? You up? I haven't played that thing since Hard to Kill, because I was like, you got to understand, I went to that show on points. I went to the flights were on points, the Palms was on point, like everything was on points, because I knew nobody was going to give me money to cover this show. Like, I went for Fightful, I went on my own, I didn't really make a big stink out of it, got my tickets, set up an interview with Macklin, set up an interview with Speedball, and that was all later. But anyway, the point I was trying to make with Speedball, so we did the interview at the Luxor, and he comes in, he's like, I take off my shoes, and I'm like, I'm shocked you were wearing shoes to begin with. So he did, and that's a Canadian thing. We take off our shoes when we get into spaces like this. So takes off his shoes. We do the interview. I thought I had the angle, but if you go back and watch it, like, you can see all of us, but like, you can also see, like, you can see our feet. And someone was like, this man's not wearing shoes, I'm not watching this interview. And I was like, why are you surprised? Also, why do you care?
Man never wears shoes. The hell?
Yeah, I did. I don't know.
Exactly. That's his whole gimmick.
People are weird, man.
I agree.
Out here wanting feet and then not wanting feet. If you're giving feet, just enjoy the feet. They're there for you.
I don't like that.
That's the quote of the episode.
I don't know what this episode is anymore. We did cover the thumbnail, so clearly we're okay.
Did you cover any other news, like Jamie Hayter and all the people that were worried she was in Guantanamo Bay, but she's actually just checking on her, working out her visa?
Which, like, people knew. Like, people, and then what's more upsetting, but okay, so let's just set the table real quick. Fightful Select reported that Jamie Hayter is dealing with visa issue, or at least visa, she's getting her visa renewed so that she could come back and work for the States. Now, she's been in the UK for the last little while. She's been working UK indies. Those who are fans of hers, or at least follow what she's doing, like, you could put two and two together. What we do is we confirm the report, which is what we did. And other people had put it out there before. So great, wonderful. And then you have all these dorks getting uppity with Shawn because Jamie Hayter, flippantly and like jokingly, maybe not.
Very, very British of her. It was a very very British way of doing it.
Yeah, if anyone's gonna know, it's
her.
Just being like, saved you the click. I'm waiting in my visa. I'm gonna be back soon. Because for all we know, she was also probably getting messages being like, hey, are you okay? Hey, are you fired? Hey, whatever. Like, the people probably were thinking of the worst, because if there's one thing I know about, it's catastrophizing things and getting so in your head over things that you have no control over that you catastrophize them. I work on that. That's what therapy's good for. But anyway, the point is, in all this, Jamie set it to rest, said it's a visa issue, and that was it. And then you had dorks. Now, by the way, now everyone's getting back to me about co-hosting the show. So kudos to Kate being like, I was busy, and Jeremy and all that. So anyway, so now I got dorks coming after Shawn. These are the same people who absolutely already knew what the issue was, but they just want to dunk on our coverage, on our work, because they're dorks. Simple.
I liked the wrestlers that were commenting under it, being like, report this next, report this next. I thought that was funny.
We all know what this is.
They know the deal. There's wrestlers that like quote tweet Fightful articles. Like you're very prevalent. Like Jeremy talked about that yesterday. That Becky Lynch back in like 2018 retweeted something that he wrote and stuff like that. Like they're aware. They're in touch. They know what's going on.
I've watched at different companies' press conferences. This isn't AEW versus WWE. Like, no, this is at both. I've seen people with their phones open to ringside news articles that they've pulled up because the SEO brings it up first. They don't know They don't care. They only know if they really know, in the case of the outlet I've discussed. But like, it's just news. It's just the news. And some of them are doing it to laugh, and some of them are doing it because, oh, okay, it's out there. That's it. Some of them, it doesn't matter. It's not a big thing. But people being weird and like confrontational because they think they're sticking up for their favorite, or they don't want to spend the $5. Like, okay, $6 now. But like, who could possibly give a shit? Like,
Exactly. It's not that serious. It's not that serious. People take wrestling way too seriously. I don't. That's why I tend to have fun on these type of streams and stuff like that. Any stream I do, I have a whole bunch of fun. It's just talking to my friends, talking to you guys, talking to people at Trio Heat. It doesn't have to be taken so seriously. I find it hilarious that people take wrestling so seriously that they have to like get on, comment. I had people coming at me. I had people coming at me because I was like, I don't think that Drake being at a WWE show is a good look for either of them. Because I was like, Drake got allegations. I was like, Drake got allegations. WWE got a case, and I had Drake shooters coming at me. Drake shooters with no profile pic. One had a Michael Jackson profile pic. Another one had some design as a profile pic. And they're like, you fucking dork. You're a fucking dickhead. You were like cursing at me. And I didn't even respond with any curses. I just kept giving them gifts. I was like, I'm not taking you seriously.
it's just the Kendrick hopscotch gift over and over and over and over.
Do we think Kendrick shows up at Revolution?
I think there have been overtures made, but also like
I think Swerve definitely has made a call, but I don't think he's going to show up. But I think they have. Yeah, I agree with Joel. They've made a call at least.
Yeah, like you got to shoot your shot. Whether or not he shows up is a completely different, question. Again, this is another question. If someone from media who is going to be at the show or on the Tony Khan call can ask, like, hey, Drake was at a WWE show. Any interest in bringing in Kendrick because you're going to be in LA and Kendrick, like you can frame it however you will. I don't care, but you can ask, have there been overtures made? There's your talking point. There's your SEO. You'll get it. And either K-Dot shows up or he doesn't. When Drake showed up at Elimination Chamber, Jeremy was very quick to like send the, tweet the Drake Elimination Chamber short that we made. Because I said, no, it's not in anyone's best interest to have him there. And then he was there and I didn't reply because I was like, I don't think they're even going to show him in an official capacity on camera. And like, yes, he was. Yeah. But by the way, Cam is saying the answer is yes about the K-Dot thing. And that's fine. You should answer yes. You should absolutely say, yes, we tried, because guess what? You babyface yourself regardless of the situation. Like, you're good. Do it. And you should be making that opportunity. Anyway, I said to Jeremy, I'm like, if they show him in official capacity, it's a different story. They didn't. He was there in the background and no one drew any attention to Drake being there except for fans. And like, it was this like,
and Logan Paul.
Fuck Logan Paul. He's just dumb. But the point is, they didn't make a mountain out of Drake being there. He was just there. Like we had Steve Argentaro on the show on Monday. He was the one who dropped the news that Drake was going to be in attendance. But after that was it. He wasn't. There was no name card. There was nothing. He was just there. Okay. People were more upset if you were from the Australia and New Zealand area because he canceled 3 shows and came here, which, like, granted, was probably because he just didn't sell enough tickets for his concerts.
Might be that.
I like to zoom in on the mic for that. You were like,
people know. I've been on the Drake 8 train for years. I've reposted tweets from 2009.
You're like AJ Francis being like, I've been a Hulk Hogan hater for years, way before any of y'all.
It's funny because every time I want someone to hate on AJ Francis, they're like, I can't. And I'm like, I get it.
AJ's my friend. I got to interview him and he was the coolest dude ever. I can no longer hate on him. I did hate on him during his WWE run, and I told him that when I interviewed him. But I was like, no, you're so cool.
Reality is, like, he's very full of himself. Yeah. But he's also a very nice individual. Like, he's just he will go out of his way for people who are just nice people. So That's why I don't shit on him. Like if he has a bad match, that's a different conversation. But as a human, I like AJ. He seems like a nice dude. He has been a nice dude to me in our interactions. So gotta say, he's still ducking Jeremy. He doesn't want to do, he wanted to do a rap battle here, but he's like, nah. We're gonna do it for charity too. The money could go for feet. Louis super chats.
Oh my god. I did enjoy his segment on TNA a couple weeks ago when he had like Noel and everybody out there.
Well, they're doing it again on Thursday, so get ready.
Can't
Oh
wait.
my god, really?
Yeah, it's gonna be really good.
Now that my Thursdays are free, I can watch TNA.
There you go. Maybe you can do a post show for me once in a while if you want.
Oh, here we go.
Now Joe's probably going to be asking me to come on the Impact World show now that he knows I'm free.
What's funny is that the TNA post show is that one show that I always say, like, oh man, maybe this week I'll take a week off. And then I inevitably end up doing it just because I'm up. And I'm like, okay, I can stay up till 10. And then my dumb ass is just like, hey, you got another hour on top of your day. You'll be up till 11, and then you got to cut the audio, and then you got to do this, and then you got to do that. And I'm like, no. So it always screws me up in the end. It's my own fault.
For the love of the game.
Yeah,
What
man,
game?
you're a hustler. I told you this in our private chat. I'll tell you here on air. Joel is one of the best, especially when it comes to the background work stuff. He's one of the few people that I'd be like, yeah, I trust you in regards to that background stuff that I usually don't trust anyone on my teams usually or stuff on that. I'd be like, nah, just do it myself. I'm like Thanos at the end of Age of Ultron. But when Joel's around, I'm like, you know what? I trust you.
And this is funny, is like Henry, the joke about AEW and everything is like, Joel only takes wrestling seriously if he's judging frame rates. And like, that's because it's my background. Like my background is in production. So I give a shit about how things look and sound. And that's why I'm like, I want everyone to have proper microphones or proper whatever, if they can afford it, or if they can, put their best foot forward. That's what I want. So Kimmy, you're fired.
What? I'm wearing my AirPods.
Yeah, don't worry. I can hear.
He's like, I can hear everything.
You can hear. Look, I'm a dude who wears in-ear monitors, for Christ's sake. Like this shit is in my ears. I can hear all y'all's conversations in the background.
So you heard my dad come in being like, what are you doing?
Oh, I saw it. Saw you looking.
He was like, are you allowed to be on this podcast? I'm like, well, I guess we'll find out.
What are you gonna
asked
eat?
Kimmy.
You're not talking
She's like,
about
I got axed, so I'm here.
I did. I invited myself. I go, Joel, I see you're lonely. Do you want me to save you? And he goes, sure. And I go, I'll wear a hood.
And it worked.
My disguise.
Very good disguise. Maybe you throw
This
on
is
a
supposed to be in disguise? What?
I don't have a mask or anything. That would be crazy. I wouldn't be able to like breathe. I don't know how wrestlers like wrestle in a mask, but yeah.
Ray does it. Ray's got the big opening.
Yeah.
So you'd be okay with that.
Yeah, see, I saved the show. Joel was only going to do it for 30 minutes. Joel.
No, I never said that, but it probably, when I looked over at the time, would have been about 45 to an hour if it was just me.
Did you talk about Phoenix?
They talked about it yesterday.
We touched on it. I mean, if you want to talk about it more, yeah.
I don't really have much to say.
Hyped.
Yeah. You're hyped for it?
Yeah, I didn't think they were going to do it. I thought they were going to wait till after Mania because, why not? And I know that he's free, so he can appear whenever. I wouldn't be surprised if they do it at the Garden for that big, pop of, something surprising happening at MSG. I mean, I don't know anything, but that would be cool if they do it for MSG. I think you're going to see the Lucha Bros at WrestleMania, though. I think that's the direction they're going to go. Who they face, I have no idea. Maybe Ray and somebody.
I already booked
you
it.
did?
I don't know. I didn't get any DMs from the Lucha Bros, so I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. But
that's because their future is WWE, but their present is one in limbo.
Yeah, you have to go SP3. You have to go on WhatsApp. That's where you communicate with them, not Twitter. WhatsApp.
You're right. Those Mexican fairweights.
Spanish.
No, it's actually gonna be El Chadador Gable with his mask and the Creeds, the American Made versus Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Rey Fenix. Yes, Dragon Lee is gonna get screwed out of another Mania payday.
Dragon Lee is gonna be like Charlie Brown. Dragon Lee's gonna be like Charlie Brown walking around on Christmas. Dun 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 dun. Just head down to the floor.
He's gonna be like, God damn it, again?
God damn it, Tony, why didn't you keep him for longer?
Carlito's gonna beat him up just because. Sorry, I'm on orders.
This dude came to WWE for the lack of luchadors, and then Andrade, Penta, and Rey Fenix signed with the company in a year. What? You can't make that up. You can't make that up. That is some bad luck on your part.
Dragon Lee's gonna save Ring of Honor. Buddy, I don't think anyone's gonna save Ring of Honor. Cam also, yeah, Luchador.
I like that.
Oh,
I went with El Americano. El Americano.
They call him El Americano, and then someone should be like the coffee? Oh my gosh. This show is stupid. I love it.
I was gonna leave like right after I said hi, Kimmy, but y'all made me stay.
I didn't make you do shit.
No, you made me stay because it's a fun conversation, Joel. God damn it.
I didn't make you do shit.
Joel?
Yeah, whatever. We only got a little bit of time left. There was one thing in my notes that I found interesting was the twist and turny mania build this year versus last year, which was pretty straightforward, minus The Rock. We don't talk about him, but it doesn't matter.
I don't blame him.
He just showed up. But yeah, after having IYO SKY capture the women's championship and having John Cena turning heel, there's been enough twists and turns this year that it's not only did they hear out people being like, oh, WrestleMania isn't really building very, very well. Meanwhile, it's like that all starts Elimination Chamber when you got 6 weeks left. But the point here is they're starting to kind of implement all these obvious quote unquote results are not so obvious. And I like that they're building to a WrestleMania that has a little bit of uncertainty in the eyes of the fans. It's a good build this year so far, given where we were a month ago even. So I appreciate that versus last year where it was like, yeah, Cody's going to finish the story, but how will they get there? And well, we got there.
Sure
I
did.
think it's cool that we're sitting here, what are we, 5-6 weeks out, and we don't know the Mania card because it can go any other way. Like you're sitting here and you're projecting that it's going to be Rhea and Io and Bianca, but you don't know if it's going to be Rhea, Io, and Bianca. So I'm excited to see what other twists and turns. I'm really hoping all the women's titles get on the card. That's my new fear, is that the mid-card titles aren't going to get on the WrestleMania card, and it's going to be on the SmackDown before, because we love the SmackDown before WrestleMania.
It's one of the biggest shows of the year. You didn't know that? That's
No,
what they
it's
tell
not.
us.
I've been there live. Like, it is not.
Is it the biggest show because the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is the same time?
Yep. One of the biggest SmackDowns of the entire calendar year.
Yeah, because of the giant. Because they bring a giant standee of Andre the Giant in.
No, but I think that
Battle Royal.
I do think that Triple H has done a good job of like having three big time prominent surprises on the road to WrestleMania, whether it be Jey Uso winning the Rumble, whether it be John Cena turning heel at Elimination Chamber, and then Io winning the world title. That there's been the twists and turns that you didn't know who was going to win the Elimination Chamber. There was a lot of people that thought it would be CM Punk. A lot of people thought it would be John Cena. They had some people who came out with reports about it being Drew McIntyre. Like it was so many things out there that you didn't know who was going to win that, and that made the Elimination Chamber a better viewing experience. And the same thing with the Royal Rumble. A lot of people thought Roman Reigns or CM Punk or John Cena was going to win that, and then they just totally flipped everything on its head with Jey Uso. I just have to preference this and say what we don't know how much of this was planned, or is a lot of this a response to the people that have been saying that the WrestleMania build has not been that enthusiastic. I was on this show a couple of weeks ago being like, I'm still waiting for the WrestleMania build to start. Like, usually last year it did start after Royal Rumble because The Rock came in and tried to steal Cody's spot, and that started everything. And they had the kickoff show during Super Bowl week that really got the ball rolling on everything. So the build to WrestleMania started the first week of February, and we were like halfway through February, like, has it started yet? And then The Rock came in again, and once again, it's like The Rock is the sim. It's not Royal Rumble anymore that starts the road to WrestleMania. It's when The Rock shows up. It starts the road to WrestleMania.
Rock shows up, and everyone's just like, "Oh shit, what do we do?" Oh man, you pop yourself on anytime, mystery man in the back. No, all right, fine. You know what? I'm gonna. Should I bring him on? Is that what I need to do?
Who?
Should I give me a thumbs up if you're gonna join us? I can't believe we're doing this. Hello.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
What are you doing?
Are you okay?
Can't speak.
I knew I should have asked you yesterday. Do you want me to fill in? I could have worked out my other schedule to be available.
You're gonna have the message.
We'll work it out. You've been forbidden to speak, so you're here. You're not running from the grind. You didn't want to miss an episode. We appreciate you. Go get better. Get the meds you need, and we'll see you again. Hopefully, well, as soon as possible. Whenever you're ready.
ASAP.
Love you, pal. Get better soon.
Half a heart.
That's how I feel most of the time.
I can't believe that's crazy that he did that.
Committed. It means I might have to work Thursday morning, isn't it? It might be you and me tomorrow, buddy. Will Chisholm said,
"Hey,
hot take. It's he thinks it's IYO SKY leaving WrestleMania with the women's title. I mean, it's possible. You got to work with the Bianca story too. What is that?
Not me.
No, that is probably my daughter standing right by my door right now.
That's hilarious. Yeah, it's the wait music. I thought it was the waiting music for Jeremy was.
That's what I thought it was. I was like, oh.
But then he left and I heard it again. I was like, what are you doing?
Or it's the spam callers that you were getting and you accidentally answered one of them.
And they're not connected to my soundboard, so I hope not. And my phone is under. Anyway, whatever. The IYO SKY thing, again, like the bigger story is Rhea's path to WrestleMania because they've started finally giving more to her story. She's frustrated. She has no friends. She lost the title because she got so full of herself. She screwed up, blah, blah, blah. I'm curious as to what Rhea's story is. If it's a triple threat, sure. But like, we also have the Bianca Belair story. How involved was she with Jade Cargill? We know that Naomi got attacked, but we don't know if it was just Naomi and that Bianca just happened to be in the ring when it happened, or if she helped facilitate the attack and then pretended as if everything was okay. Again, when they release the doc cam footage, which they need to do because, you know, every single arena in North America and beyond has a loading dock camera. Don't tell me they don't. And Jade has the footage and she's going to show it. But there's that.
You're going to show it on Friday.
Yeah. And then the odd person out is IYO SKY, who can easily just, you know, win the match, whether it's triple threat or singles, because she's not compromised in any way. She's focused. She's a champion who's coming in just as such. So I could see her walking out with that title and just leaving it be. Or IYO could drop the title like the week before Mania back to Rhea. I don't know. There's a lot of things at play that could make this match, you know, more exciting than it already has been. So
that's what they should do. They're not going to do this, but they could do this. So you have IYO win
the Women's World Championship.
No, so you have IYO win, right? And then Monday she's like, oh look, I beat like two of the top women. Yada yada, calls somebody out and Roxanne enters the challenge. They do like the Saraya and AJ Lee thing and have Roxanne beat IYO on the Monday after Mania.
Raw after Mania needs to come back. I'm not talking about 45-minute Cody and Rock promo back. I'm talking about, the surprises are here. The crowd is hot. I'm waiting for that. I thought it was going to be after 39, and then they completely screwed everybody.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be last year, and then that was kind of like a whole hum episode that just had Rock handing Cody something that we never found out about.
It was the watch.
It wasn't, because he had the watch.
That's right.
Oh, the note thing. All right, that happened.
Wrestling is stupid.
It really is sometimes.
Just the worst.
Why do we watch this again?
I have no clue.
Well, here's the question. Okay, are you guys completionists when you watch television? Do you need to see all the episodes of every season of a show until it ends?
Yes, that's why I restarted Cobra Kai.
Yeah, so
I
that's
can watch
never
it
wrestling
now.
fans.
It's excellent. It's the best show ever. Unlike the show that I have to be a completionist about, Love is Blind this season is freaking awful, but I cannot finish it now. It's so boring. It's the worst season of reality television I ever seen in my life.
That's a bold statement. Damn.
It is. It's boring. There's been horrible people. There's been horrible concepts. I watched MILF Manor. Horrible concept, but at least it's entertaining. I watched Jersey Shore season 2 when they went to Miami. One of the greatest reality television seasons of all time. In comparison to that, this is like watching paint dry. This is just different white people in different fonts. If you put them in a lineup, you couldn't even tell the difference between any of them.
I don't watch this, but
Neither do I.
But the completionist thing was what the point was for me.
I'm sorry, I had to rant. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's what we do here. If it's not about wrestling, it's got to be about something. But that's why we're still watching wrestling, because we're completionists. Until wrestling ends, we're all screwed. Basically, we'll be lifelong stuck fans unless something so incredibly bad happens that we're just like, I give this X amount of weeks. This was me and Cressa with TNA for a spell, where we were like, if shit doesn't pull up by this date, we're never doing a post show. Like, if it doesn't get better by the live show in January, we're done. And guess what? The live show in January, it was good enough that we stuck around. Now it's like, we're just going to curate our post shows based on how we feel. A Friday night sacrifice post show? Probably not, because the show starts at 8, so it'll end by 11, and I don't want to be up till 12 on a weekend. No, I'm probably not going to do a sacrifice post show when there's the SmackDown that's hopefully going to be bigger than sacrifice. We'll see. I'd rather take the night off, watch the show, and then talk about it the following Thursday. Watch TNA front office be like, hey, you guys doing a post show tonight? And be like, nah, it's okay.
We're gonna pass on this.
Nah, see you next Thursday.
Oh, man.
I know who watches our shows. That's how I get my interviews. Anyway.
He gets his rundown of just like,
I don't need a
who's
rundown.
watching.
The show's not live. The show's taped. Most of the time.
No, I meant of who watches your post show. Your post show is live.
Oh, the post show is live.
Because I get the notification on my YouTube of Piper Overbooked is live.
Well, we don't do the post shows live on Overbooked. We do them on.
Well, I'm just saying, that's how I got the notification for this. I have the notification. Like, it just happens. That's how I keep in tune.
That's right. That's
What
why
a big fan I am.
subscribe, hit the bell, leave a thumbs up, and maybe if you're watching or listening to us, I should say, on an audio platform, 5-star reviews. Get your ears plugged into us and into your friends. Tell them about us. All right. TNA does watch the reviews, I'm sure. Someone's got to watch them. I'm telling you. Anyway, we have anything else to do before we get on out of here? Everyone's got to get back to work.
Oh, did you want to do you wanted to do the AEW rundown quickly?
Oh shit, that's right. Dynamite's tonight. Leave it to me to forget.
Oh, I did something.
Let's see. Did AEW do they have a preview up yet? No, they don't.
They have that tag match. I know Thunder Rosa and Megan and Penelope.
No, you've missed the bit for the last little while. It's been that AEW has put up a preview on their website for like the last 7 or 8 weeks, but the previews are like each match gets 5 to 8 paragraphs of exposition. So we started reading them because it was just so absurd. Yeah, we're not doing that. So
When you're trying to reach your word limit on an essay.
it really is. I just don't get it. Oh God, where is this? Where is this? Where is the AEW Dynamite? Did we not?
It's the go home show for Revolution.
Well, I know that, but like normally we have
we got a Swerve Strickland and Ricochet contract signing. We got Cope versus Wheeler Yuta.
Yep. And we have Thunder Rosa and Chris Statlander versus Megan May and Penelope Ford. You mentioned that, Kate. Sorry, you're not Kate, you're Kimmy. Your K names all sound the same. Your K names.
Two different vowels. She has an A, I have an I.
Yeah, but it starts with a K, so it's the same. I have a 3-year-old. That's how he works. One day you'll know.
Yeah, exactly. You'll understand.
One day you'll get it. That's not Kimmy. You're right. Thank you for that.
That's right. I'm also not Kimmy, so I don't even have a K name.
So this is what I was trying to get at. So now AEW, I'm certain they started seeing us clown on this on their website. And I'm sure that someone from AEW was like, don't post the previews until after 12:30.
Yep.
Wow.
Well, at least 1 o'clock to post them. Do not post them at 9 a.m.
I was like, we're sick of getting clowned on Fightful.
Of course, the joke here is always that it's Will Washington. So it's Will who's writing the 8-paragraph expository. Oh God, it's just him, and he's just like, "This, I'm not doing this. I'm not dealing with this shit."
Like, I'm over it.
Exactly.
Too much work.
These damn clowns.
Damn mudslinging clown show over there, Fightful.
We're not even that bad. It's just me.
He's like, it's just me, Oos.
Yeah.
They want it.
They want it.
I'm an OG hater. Let me have it.
You should know this about me already.
That's right. Next week, I can because because Revolution is not at the beginning of a month. It's not a main channel show, so I can just give as much shit to Revolution on this channel as I want, and everyone's gonna be okay. Although the show's probably gonna be really good. So who am I? I'm building a hell of a show for Revolution.
Yeah, I was like, it's a good time to be a wrestling fan. I was like, WWE's on fire. They had the John Cena heel turn. AEW had a great month of February for television, building up to Revolution, and it looks like we're gonna get like the 4th awesome Revolution show from like 2020, 2022, 2023. Well, no, there's already been like four great Revolution shows, so this will be the 5th. Unfortunately, they couldn't get the fireworks right in 2021, but other than that, it's always delivered some great matches, and we might get a match of the year candidate out of one or multiple matches on Sunday. And then you got New Japan Pro Wrestling. They have turned the tide. This time last year, I was swearing Gato's name. I was calling him the worst booker in professional wrestling. And now all the newbies, you got Suji on fire, Gabe Kidd's on fire. You got David Finlay returning in the New Japan Cup. New Japan Cup starts on Friday. You got the anniversary show tomorrow morning, and then there's TNA.
And then there's Ring of Honor.
You can tell me what's good over there, because I'm sorry, I just haven't been that enthused with. I like what they're doing on top. I like the Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali rivalry. That's been great.
That's it.
But the whole booking and treatment of a certain person, racist, certain on television and outside of television has not left the best taste in my mouth in regards to TNA.
Oh my
I
God.
was like, in a year that WWE has 2 lawsuits, one for sex trafficking and one for being a pedophile, and AEW has 2 lawsuits, one for a talent who's a big crybaby, even though he's working somewhere else, the aforementioned place, and another lawsuit with multiple talents who I don't even get it anymore. Why are we still dragging it? You're just losing money at this point. And somehow, some way, TNA feels like they're going to get most disgusting promotional tactic for 2025.
It's not working anywhere else. Anywhere credible. Yeah. There's
I was
nothing.
gonna say, isn't she wrestling in Mexico? Wasn't she doing that for a while?
the whole thing with CMLL was that she wanted to be able to work both, and TNA and CMLL were like, nope. So that's out. It's just her doing, she's just TNA, but on top of that, it's like she works some indies here and there, but I don't know. I don't know what her contract looks like. TNA is really good at, not talking about contracts, although you can typically assume it's for 1 year unless Moose tells you it's for 5. That was a fun interview. Go back into go back in the archives for that. Boy, do we talk about that interview a lot. Put us on the map.
It did. It did.
Put us on a lot of maps and a lot of lists. I saw Sinner and Saint this weekend. I got to say hi to them in person because we did their entrance interview with TNA, and they were just like, "Oh shit, that's right." It was a very, very nice moment. So love those guys. Love all the Canadian talent to come through. And Hotch too was actually another guy that I got to meet in person and say hey, because running around in his TNA track. That's what it is. The deal with Blacksmith, that's really what it's all about. Like, you get the TNA tracksuit, that shit's fire. That thing looks good. That's all. That's the only reason you sign with the company. Because if you can't get the New Japan tracksuit from signing with New Japan, you get the TNA tracksuit from Blacksmith. That's the one.
AEW had a tracksuit. Tony gave it as a Christmas present. I think it was during the pandemic because Britt was like, "Look at my new AEW tracksuit jacket." I was like, "Damn, I want one."
Yeah, but none of them are wearing it anymore. What are we doing?
Come on, we gotta promote that. Even Switchblade, he was wearing a New Japan tracksuit.
It's true, man. Those tracksuits were nice. But anyway, yeah, TNA is just, there are a lot of things. Not only that, but just before we get out of here, like the treatment of their world champion is a whole other kettle of fish. It's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah,
is.
They're treating their world champion, their only world champion, like WWE is treating Jey Uso versus Gunther. It feels very mid card.
They're, again, the last live episode, he was number 4 in a match with 4 people in it, because 3 of them were debuting talent. Like, the onus was not on Joe Hendry to be over. It was Elijah's first night. Very strange. Anyway,
He did just get announced for WrestleCon though.
Pardon?
For who? Him or me?
You.
Oh, I said he was just announced for WrestleCon yesterday.
Listen, we love Joe Hendry. I like Joe Hendry as a performer, and he's got something that people like. What's a kettle of fish? Just look it up. It's a saying. I say it a lot. It is what it is. But with Joe Hendry, fans like him. He's a very popular guy. So like, you capitalized at Genesis. You can tell me it was too late or not, whatever. But you haven't done anything with him since. And again, he hasn't had a serious world title feud yet. So his world championship run has just been lackluster. It's been comedy shit. It's been not serious. Like, he needs that one serious contender, that one serious person, but it's not there. So here we are.
And the guy that Joel has convinced me is probably gonna beat him for the title also feels very mid card. So it's just like, it's like the only people that feel on the rise right now is Mustafa Ali and Mike Santana.
Who was the other guy?
Mike Santana and Mustafa Ali.
Yeah. Those are top. Those are the mid card, but it's like that is the top feud right now in that company. Yeah, Santana's still the guy, and the only reason he feels middle is because they just haven't they haven't done it yet. The question is, does the Ali match do that, or does Ali give Santana his first loss and force him to reevaluate everything going into Slammiversary to have that moment? Because if you make him an unstoppable babyface, like, that's one story you can tell, but a little crisis of conscience never hurt anyone, especially an over babyface like Santana. So I wouldn't be surprised if Ali wins at Sacrifice, challenges maybe at Rebellion. I don't know if he wins or loses, because again, Kazarian still has that stupid cup. And
oh God,
Bound for Glory. I kept saying Kazarian should cash in at Rebellion and win. And then you have Elijah, and that's going to happen too at one point. I think the Elijah match might actually be an Unbreakable, because that's whatever. That's a show that's happening on a Thursday after Impact. It's like it exists. You know what? You're going to know most of the build next, like after Friday night, so Friday, Saturday. But anyway,
I'm just going to text you.
That's fair. Oh, and I'll tell you. But anyway, we're done. We did everything we need to do. We talked about Dynamite. We talked about Raw and NXT, and everyone needs to get back to work. So SP3, plug it, and then let's get out of here.
Check me out in about 45 minutes. I'll be live on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel with J News and Sanal to preview the New Japan Cup. Like I said, it starts on Friday, so we'll be giving our predictions on a couple of the big matches. We'll be giving our predictions on who we think is going to make the finals, and of course, who we think is going to win. So join us live for that. And of course, I'll be back live here tomorrow on Indie's, probably with Joel, which should be fun. Maybe I'll see. I'm doing a Daredevil watch along for the new season that dropped last night. I'm very much looking forward to that. I'm doing that with Jimmy Macaram for his channel. I might ask Jimmy to wake up early, and maybe he'll join us for In the Weeds.
Would love that.
A little cliffhanger for y'all, because I know he's going to be like, yes, I'll come on to put Joel on trial.
I will just sit there and watch him talk. You do you, pal. You do you. Hey, not Kimmy. What would you like to plug if you were not Kimmy?
You could follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_Sokol.
What?
Follow me on Instagram. I don't know what to say.
Are you Kimmy and you've been Kimmy all along? What are we doing here?
No, I'm plugging Kimmy's socials for her.
Good. Okay, good.
You can follow her on Instagram at Kimmy.Sokol, and you can see her next Saturday at the big event. She will be working with Lita. Mercedes Moné is also going to be there. AJ Lee is also going to be there. The former Sonya Deville is also going to be there. It is the most stacked, the big event lineup in years. So if you're in the New York area, go get your tickets at bigeventny.com. And then you can go to House of Glory to see Mercedes Moné wrestle. Don't ask who it's against, though, because they still don't know.
Oh, shit. That's so House of Glory. That is so House of Glory.
Red's just like, fuck it, I'll do it. That'll be fun. All right, back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Leave them with a smile. Leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends about the show, would you? Audio listeners, 5-star review. You know what to do. You know who they are. You know who I am. Ladies, gentlemen, friends beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.